Troy. I was lost before that. We're live right now.
Ooh,
excellent. We are live. We're doing such a good job. Hey, thank you all so much for joining. We already got John Buseman coming in hot in the chat. Colin Delaney is all elite. You heard it here first, folks. You got Colin Delaney. He's here. Thank you all so much for joining. And you're already smashing the like button. Smashing the like button. If you haven't though, hit it. Smash it right there. You got it right there. I think this is enough light. How do you feel about my?
I mean, there's no turning back now. Here we are.
I feel like I did too much light back here, but not enough light up here. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot. Hey, thank you all so much for watching. This is. Holy crap, someone just liked us and then unliked us. They took away our like. Is it because I said something? I didn't mean to. I said smash the button. Maybe because I said smash the button again, they re-smashed it and then it unsmashed. Please check. Thank you so much. Now they're noticing that they're re-smashed. Thank you so much. Keep smashing that like button. This is Loser Leaves Wrestling. This is the woos and whats of AEW Dynamite. My name is Red Jefferson. I'm here with Roy Hammer. Burr, burr, burr. How are you feeling, Roy? Feeling good?
Hey, I'm good. I wanted to bring something up before we jump into the show. I happened to see yesterday. What are you drinking? What is that?
Oh, it's my patented brunch punch.
Which is that the orange juice, apple juice, and vodka?
And cinnamon. Cinnamon's the secret.
I have kombucha over here. I'm trying to get into kombucha. I'm trying to get into it.
Fair.
Before we get into the show, I did want to mention that I don't normally watch AEW Dark, but this week I watched AEW Dark and it was a great time. And everyone should watch this week's episode of AEW Dark. It's an hour, bunch of squash matches, and then the main event and a no disqualification, no rules match. Joey Janela versus Sonny Kiss. Great match.
Oh, I should check that out. Actually, that sounds very good. I'm very excited about that. We already have some comments in here. We got John Busman already talked about Colin Delaney. Spoilers much. S writes, JR back in the booth and S back in the live chat. It's a night of returns, baby.
Night of returns.
Woo. Yes. Excellent job. Thank you so much, S. Is Kay here? Give Kay her best.
And if Kay is here, have her log into a different computer.
Yeah, have a logger into a different computer. And also smash the like button. I see whoever they resmashed, but you better all smash when you get the chance. Wow, what a night we had. We had a lot of things going on tonight.
Yeah.
Should we probably jump in? Should we?
I think we should. What a transitional night of wrestling this was.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
It's a transitional show.
Yeah, very transitional. A lot of things still in the broiler. Starting to get cooked up.
Yeah.
Let's start off the first thing. This is New Year's Smash. This is
New Year's Smash.
New Year's Smash. Ever heard of it? And you did today. New Year's Smash, and they're in Daly's place back in Jacksonville, Florida, and they're all very excited about it. Yeah. They're all very happy. And we also get the return of JR. We get JR's back.
JR's back just in time. Right down the road from his new residence in Jacksonville, Florida. Must be nice to just buy a house during a pandemic. Well, this is where I work. So I'm just gonna buy a house.
Roy,
he bought this house years ago. If you want me to throw shade, I'll say, hey, I don't need your entrance on television. I don't really need it. I get it. I'm happy he's back. I think he did a great job tonight. I think he did a really good job.
Fears Roy.
Hold on a second.
JR Fears Roy.
I think he did a great job tonight. He didn't really make any mistakes. I felt really good about it. I have some things that he said early on that I want to mention. Are you okay? A little too much cinnamon there?
There's too so much because one thing is the cinnamon doesn't really mix with the drink, so it's all just floating on top. And no matter how much I stir,
first.
I put the apple juice, then I'm telling you the secret. I can't tell you.
Yeah. It's like the flaming Homer.
Tell me some of these JR-isms that you whittled off.
I really like that he said, I'm back just in time to make that trip to New Jersey. Am I lucky? And I audibly said, you better be serious. And he said, I'm serious. And I said, good.
Busman writes, actually, Jersey, because Busman, a friend of the show, friend of LLW, writes Jersey. Also, Kay is watching the documentary The Mole Agent and tearing up. I thought it said tearing up.
I've heard that's good.
Mole Agent. No, don't.
Bunch of movie buffs over there in the S household.
We found our way into their hearts when I referenced the Seventh Seal and Ingrid Bergman. But continue.
That was the big one. I have a lot of different ideas. We can talk. Let's get into the first match.
I have a Tonyism real quick that he said as soon as JR came out.
Yes,
he's just like the band is back together and it feels so. And he paused. Comfortable.
Oh, good.
What is that? What is that reference? Why
Taz makes him uncomfortable.
Sure, that Taz does make him uncomfortable, and also just the wording. It's just like it feels so good. No, it doesn't feel good. It feels easy.
Yeah,
it feels easy.
I don't have to carry such a heavy weight anymore. Yeah, JR's back.
Oh, we got Tony in the chat. Boom. We got Tony in here. Thank you so much, Tony, for dropping by. First match of the night. Let's just get into this. It's this messy 10-man slot.
You hate these matches.
Man, do they get tired? Like, the thing is, I remember as a kid really thinking like the Survivor Series deal was fun and cool because wow, there's so many people on the side of the ring. It's crazy. But like having that once in a while, we have it every single show. Every single show.
I don't know about every single show.
Every single show, there's a 4 or an 8, an 8 or a 10 or a 12-man tag. Almost every single show. I'll say almost every single show.
I would say there's a 10-man tag once a month, which is still too much.
That's too much. We got S writing Tony in the cat.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Tony in the cat. It's gonna be a t-shirt. A loser leaves wrestling. We're gonna have t-shirts soon. Tony in the cat.
Look out.
Yeah, watch out. Okay, so this match, we get Jurassic Express, Christian, and the Lucha Brothers versus FTR, Private Party, and Matt Hardy. And I just wanted to say right off the top of the bat, it feels like everyone in this match is kind of like, I wrote down they don't have much. Like, I feel like they're all like they're waiting for someone. Nobody in this match, like every single person in this match is important to AEW. Every single person in this match matters in some way. Maybe not Private Party so much, but everyone in this match kind of matters in a way. It just feels like they don't have really anything really going on, right?
Like from a storyline perspective,
motivation perspective, where are they heading? Can we even imagine a next feud for any of them?
Well, I mean, they did set up a feud.
Besides the setup afterward, but like it just
that's the thing that's tricky is that it's like this weird thing of like, well, you're kind of continuing the Lucha Brothers FTR thing. You're setting up Jurassic Express. I was going to say Jungle Express, which isn't a bad name.
I think it's better, honestly.
Yeah, I think, yeah. And the Lucha Brothers, and they're also kind of like laying the groundwork for Christian versus Jungle Boy eventually. So like all of those things are quietly happening, but FTR is pretty lost, and Matt Hardy and Private Party are just there to fill space.
It feels that way.
Yeah. Can I tell you something?
What are you telling me?
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
During this match, first of all, I'm very happy that FTR got the pin. They needed a pin, even if it is this match. They did pin Christian, which feels significant, even though he's the least significant person of that 5-person team. I think it's good that they got a win because they've lost so much recently, even if the win doesn't really mean a lot. At least they got a win.
Yeah.
But can I tell you what I was doing during this match?
What were you doing?
I was crackpot theory. I was digging deep into the crackpot theory.
Okay.
/ the fantasy booking. Do you want to hear this? Want to hear my plan?
Yeah, no, I'm ready for it.
Okay, so they keep losing, right? The Hardy family office keeps losing. And at some point, they're all going to be in the ring. And Private Party is going to take the microphone from Matt Hardy and say, your time has passed. You're done. We're taking you out to pasture. And they kill him. Those two and that guy on the outside, whose name I never remember, they kill him.
Blade.
No, not Blade, the other guy, whose name
Butcher.
I never remember. No, Butcher wasn't the other guy. So they kill him. They just crush Matt Hardy. And Matt Hardy disappears from television for a while. And the Butcher and Blade are like, what? And they're like, hey, y'all do your thing. We're going to do our thing. We're good. So Butcher and the Blade then starts sitting in the crowd all the time. And they're like goons. They're the APA of AEW, but they only accept cryptocurrency. And they just show up and they kill people, and then they eventually lose, and then they get paid to hurt somebody else with cryptocurrency, and then they get killed again. So they're off doing their thing. They're out of here. Meanwhile, Private Party, big time heel team with their heater, that guy whose name I don't remember. And then the lights go down after they cheap win. They beat, let's say, Best Friends. They just, cheap win. Lights go down. Broken Matt Hardy, and Brother Nero. And then that's who the Hardy Boys feud with when they come in. Not the Bucks, not anybody else. They feud with Private Party and they elevate Private Party. That's what
honestly love that idea. Love that idea so much. And it also goes in with a certain crackpot theory that I have during this match. We noticed a lot that Marty Hardy was saying delete a lot, right?
Yeah, I did say
he was saying delete an awful lot. And this is my crackpot theory. This is just not theory. It's just a suggestion. Keep everything you said. Let's do everything you just said. Have that match. Have them break up. Have maybe Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy. They need to find their own. They have to find the new world. They're broken again. They're broken again. They've found each other. You know who would be a great part of the broken family, the broken universe?
The Butcher.
Jurassic Express.
Yeah.
If you had Jungle Boy and the dinosaur with them in their world, that makes so much sense. Have Christian be the Christian family office or something. I don't give a shit. Just have Christian be a heel. Matt Hardy has to stay away from being a heel because he sucks. He's annoying. He's annoying. Have him be the crazy broken face and have him man. That would work so well. Would make so much more sense. We have a lot of comments I've been ignoring.
Comments.
S corrects themselves. Chat, Tony in the chat. S says K gave you a like. Thank you so much. And where are the rest of you? Get the hit that smash. No, they have a job to do. This is free. They have a job to do. Joe writes, hey Joe, welcome to the chat. He did well tonight. Didn't make any mistakes. That is the best JR endorsement I've heard in a while. Cancer free.
Yeah, he's cancer free. Good for him.
Tony writes, heel Christian hints. Definitely. We would love that. Honestly, I think that would make sense for him to turn heel and do something with that. Joe writes, again, they're waiting for Jeff Hardy to come in and give Matt something of prominence to do. Maybe what Roy said.
I hope it's Private Party.
Honestly, I would like that. That actually sounds really good as a first feud too. S writes, Matt's on hold. S writes the same thing. Yeah. Joe and S wrote the same thing on hold. Buseman wrote Jorah.
That's the guy on the outside. That's his name. I can never remember it. The other guy. This other guy.
Have they ever said this guy's name?
He's on Dark.
Wow.
The Excalibur said his name tonight, and I forgot it. I should have written it down.
Joe writes, yes, all the crazy gimmicks under Hardy, including the alien chick.
Hold on.
Actually, makes a lot of sense. That's the first thing. That actually makes a lot of sense because she makes no sense in Best Friends, but in Matt Hardy's world universe where someone just calls themselves an alien and they're obviously not an alien and they don't do any alien things, that makes a lot of sense when you're broken.
I can't wait to talk about Chris Statlander later.
Okay. Well, yeah, I can't wait to talk about it either. John Buseman writes, my comments are free. You have to earn the like. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Okay. Great job, John.
Okay. We have to start working towards this like.
Job.
We need the like. But I thought the match was a little messy. A lot of missed moves, a lot of missed tag team moves in this match.
A lot of missed, like the camera missed. The camera was so focused on Luchasaurus's face hitting the ring post that it missed 2 dives.
2 separate dives. And one what's very interesting about that, I noticed there's a lot of mistakes tonight. Music cues we'll get into, missed shots. And you know whose last night in the office it is?
I noticed
Keith Mitchell's last night. Keith Mitchell's the director of AEW, was the director of Impact and
WCW, WCCW, crazy.
Yeah, and so it's his 40-year career, 40 or 50, something like that.
40, yeah.
A 40-year career is now at a close, and it felt like he fell asleep at the wheel tonight.
Well, you know what's funny?
The ship went down.
Yeah, I wonder if, because they've been making mistakes like this since the beginning.
Not in this frequency.
There was more tonight than normal. Things felt a little weird. Things feel weird at Daly's Place when it's packed like that. When they don't have that stage, things feel a little weird. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But they have to stop missing things.
Also, they were everyone in the entire night was directing their attention towards the wrong wall. They were directing their attention towards the hard camera, which they think was going to be on the other side. I think a lot of wrestlers didn't realize the hard camera was facing the entrance. And a lot of moves were faced the wrong way. If you watch, there was a lot of things that just seemed weird and confusing. S writes, of course, Strat makes sense with the Best Friends. You know who's super into aliens? Stoners. Trust me, dudes. I'm from Pacific Northwest. We have the most alien sightings because we all high. That's fair. That's fair. But we haven't classified the best friends as stoners yet. That's not canon, and so we can't go around saying that. So I'm sorry. Yes, you're wish casting right now, and I appreciate that, but we got to move on. We just got to move on.
So this overall was like a wah. This wasn't a what. This wasn't a woo. It's just
this. Yeah, this was a wah. More honestly towards the what for me.
Yeah, sure.
But it's a wah.
It's a wah. It's a pretty solid wah.
Moving on from this, we spent a lot of time talking about that Doja.
I got into my crackpot theory. Sorry.
We all got into our crackpot theories, and bless all of you. Hey, thank you all so much for watching. This is the last LLW of the new year, so make sure to smash that like button for
previous year.
For a New Year's present. Give us a New Year's present. The 2.0 and Danny Garcia versus Eddie Kingston and Proud and the Powerful. Interesting match. What are you laughing about? What is
the Proud and the Powerful?
The Proud and the Powerful. Come on. And the thing is, like, I felt this match was pretty much asleep until Eddie Kingston got a hot tag.
Yeah,
and he really lit up the place. He knows what he's doing, but like this first portion of this match just seemed off, right?
Yeah, I agree. My first thought while watching the beginning of this match was like all of these dudes, like Proud and Powerful and Eddie Kingston, should just be doing things that are so much more important feeling than this match. This didn't feel very high stakes or important to me. I love 2.0 and Daniel Garcia, but it just felt a little off to me. But yeah, I agree that hot tag really kind of got the match going for me. But what I want to talk about is the post match. So if we want to,
we'll talk about that one second. I just want one more thing. I felt like this is just lazy booking to have this match because they literally did the same formula booking last week with MJF and CM Punk with the triple threat match. And where CM Punk, MJF was avoiding CM Punk the entire time, like Daniel Garcia was avoiding Eddie Kingston the entire time. It was basically the same correlation of this guy wants to fight each other. They're not. But let's move on. The 2.0 get a quick roll up, which is nice to see. I really do like these roll up wins. 2.0 get the roll up on Eddie Kingston, not on Eddie Kingston, on Santana. And Santana gets beat down after the match. Santana gets beaten down by 2.0 and Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia grabs a ring bell and he's holding it forever. And like literally waiting forever, looking around, just like he's just having fun. And then he's just like,
hit him.
Fuck it, I'm gonna smash this dude's face in. He smashes him in, and immediately after, Chris Jericho's music hits, and out comes Jericho with a baseball bat. Really fired up because he was probably pretty pissed that the music didn't hit sooner. And it seems like another Keith Mitchell issue. This guy he's retiring. Can't you just keep it together for one night?
He was eating his retirement cake.
Everyone's passing around the cake and pizza, and this guy's got cheese on the controls and he can't hit the button. What are your thoughts on this ending portion?
Yeah, there's a few things that bothered me about it, but ultimately, like, Chris Jericho doesn't mean to do this. What I assume, at least, Chris Jericho doesn't mean to do this. He's probably in this because this is my theory in my head. He's good friends with Kevin Owens, 2.0, the show, whatever they're called. Good friends with Kevin Owens. They're on his podcast. Jericho likes these guys, takes a liking to them, wants to get them over. So he's like, oh, you'll do a program with me. That'll get you over, no problem. So they start doing this program, but now Santana, Ortiz, and Kingston literally just look like Jericho's pawns in this. Like, they're not playing an important role. They're just like treading water until Jericho comes back. I don't like it. It's not good. It's not a good use of Proud and Powerful and Eddie Kingston. Although I did like Kingston's exchange with Jericho, because I'm pretty sure he was like, where the fuck were you?
Yeah, that's actually that's why I kind of liked this, because honestly, I wouldn't mind an Eddie Kingston versus Chris Jericho feud. Sure. I didn't want them to team together, which I thought was going to happen, but I like him being like, no, fuck you, I hate you, Chris Jericho. Why would I like you? Like, I love that thought process. Chris Jericho comes out because he wants to support his inner circle team, but Eddie Kingston's like, no, they're my friends. Right. You're in a team with them on TV, but they're my friends. What are you doing out here? And so I love that was a great point there. But we're very excited about that. One thing I would like to say real quick, we didn't mention this before, but I don't think S has been in here since he gave us that nice letter, that nice email. And we just want to thank you for that email, and we're going to try and submit that movie to your festival that you mentioned. And that's a sidetrack. I just wanted
a couple of submissions. Who knows?
Maybe a few more submissions. We got a few things up in the things. We're gonna keep going to Tacoma. We should just go to Tacoma. Tony writes in the chat. It's not like he can get in trouble. It's not like if he can get in trouble. What is that reference to? I'm sure we missed it. If I read it,
is it about smoking weed in the Pacific Northwest because it's legal?
Yeah, maybe. I'm going to stick with that. Wait, is it legal in all the?
I know it's legal in Oregon. I'm going to assume
we have to find out about Washington. Joe writes, Chris Jericho running because he craves attention. It felt like that, and he was real pissed. He was fired up when he came out. Tony, what's with the face paint? I'm sick of Proud and Powerful having the face paint. Yeah, they kind of look like
a little too much.
They look like knockoff Sting action figures. They look like it looks very Danhausen-ish.
Well, I like it. Did someone say that in the chat? I feel like I thought it was Danhausen for a second. Hey, way to go, Joe. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Those brains.
Don't say that.
Those brains.
Kayfabe.
Kayfabe, brother. Kayfabe.
Bro, bring kayfabe here.
Yeah,
Joe Redlitz
really
is my
good.
secret handle on YouTube that I'm typing in as we're talking.
I think, what was I going to say? I like it for big matches.
I like it for big matches
every
too.
match.
Yeah, having it for every match honestly ruins it. It feels like war paint. You're not going to war against 2.0. You're just not. S writes, woot, woot. And that's probably in response to our praise for S. Bless you, S.
Yeah, bless you.
John Buseman writes, I think Jericho wants to work with Kingston. I'd love to see them fight, Patna. God, I hate Patna. So Patna. Because it feels so unnatural. It just sounds
I love it.
Gross. But you guys love it. Let it have it. All right. We got to move on.
Let's keep rolling.
We got MJF in the back with Sean Spears and MJF talking about the unsafe working conditions of working with Sting. Sting throw him over the top rope. Not very professional. But then he's talking to Wardlow and he's just like, Wardlow, you're in this some sort of what's this tournament for the
they're going to do that. They're going to do that match that you hate. The same one, the poker chip.
I don't hate the poker chip. Do I hate the poker chip?
I don't know. Do you hate the poker chip? I thought you hate the poker chip because people still come out. It's like it starts with two people.
Oh, it's another coming out thing. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think it's 8 people though. So 2 start and then 6 will enter, and then the last person's the like wild card, and it's
the person that wins. Oh, cool.
No, but last time it was Ethan Page, and Ethan Page didn't win.
Whatever. That's stupid. It's a dumb thing. But they're doing it again. But basically, the story of that is that Wardlow is in that match, and MJF is saying, "Hey, you have to give me the opportunity when you win it because it's in your contract." He's like, "What? My name's Wardlow." And then Mark Sterling comes out because Mark Sterling is kayfabe MJF's lawyer. And he comes out and reads the legalese right there in front of him, which is really funny.
Really good.
Really good moment. And then he's just like, Spears, he's like, disappear. And then he just leaves. I am liking Spears more and more. I have a theory on Spears. Wait until we get to
here we go. I can't wait.
Yeah. So what are we talking about? What were we saying?
Yeah, I think it was fine. I think it's a good segment. I mean, it's one of those things where like, if this was a real contract that, like if I had always known that they had like a legitimate contract between the two of them, if this was the real world, I would just assume that was a part of it, that Wardlow doesn't get anything for himself and that it all goes to MJF. So this bleeds into everything. I'm curious to see where it goes. I'm curious
to see where it goes. Hopefully we'll find out. And I have a theory. We'll see. We have some comments here. Joe writes, I've never met nor heard of this red fellow you speak of. Yeah. Not right now. Okay. S writes, good call, Buse. Probably in reference to the Patna, the Kingston. Jericho wants to work with Kingston. It's true. Joe writes, love the MJF references to his bidding war in a couple of years. Plus the lawyer stuff was fun. The bidding war stuff is, I think that's a great thing to just hold off on. He doesn't need the ring. He doesn't need the fucking ring. He has a bidding war of 2024. The ring is just, honestly, it should have went to Leo Rush.
That ring is out of control. That ring is like bigger than Leo Rush's hand.
It would have been cool. It would have made sense for Leo. And Leo, oh, by the way, Leo is gone and never be heard of again.
I have complaints.
Single thing of Leo. John Buseman writes, everything about the MJF segment was gold. It's true. It was really a perfect little segment. And Joe Redlitz writes, Spears was rocking the suit with no shirt underneath. Weird, only in wrestling. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool look.
You know what's really funny about that? I was thinking during the show watching that's something that like 8-year-old me would see, and I'd be like, Mom, that's how I want to dress for Christmas this year. Like when we go to my aunt's house, like I want to wear a suit with no shirt underneath it.
Yeah, it's a fun look. It's honestly a very Oscars, like Grammys. It's like something with Grammys. Yeah. But one thing I thought, I'm just gonna say it about Sean Spears. Sean Spears, I would love if Wardlow turns against MJF. They have a little thing. And Sean Spears is like, I want to hang out with Wardlow. And then Wardlow and Spears, I think they have this kind of like buddy chemistry where like he's just very serious. And Spears is like, you remember from Futurama Clamps? I just want to clamp things. Like, he's just the crazy guy. You know, when you have the mafia boss that has the two goons and one's like a big burly guy and one's just like, I'm crazy, I'm going to clamp you, you know, and just have Spears be the chair guy. And like, he's nuts with a chair, but that's what makes him special. I think that's really interesting. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm into it. Why not? Why not?
And honestly, Spears could work with, because Wardlow really hasn't gotten anything from MJF. Bless MJF to death, but he does not know how to get other people over.
Sure, he's trying to get himself over still.
No, he knows how to get himself over, but he cannot get anyone else over.
Yeah, but he's still on the come up, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's still on the come up. Sean Spears is perpetually on the down.
But other people have had this opportunity before. Shawn Michaels got Diesel over. Sure. You know, I'm trying to think of other people in the similar realm. But you have a heater. You're supposed to build them up, and he does nothing for him. Yeah. Sean Spears and him, they complement each other. It's very nice. It's very sweet. Tony writes, "Where's Pac? Not seen him in a few weeks. Same place that Leo Rush went."
Right. And Dante Martin.
What?
And Dante Martin.
Well, Dante Martin's been 1 week.
He was referenced. It's been 2 weeks. He was referenced this week, but he wasn't.
Yeah, but there's a feud building. Like he's getting women's division treatment.
Oh my God. We'll get to that.
You hear about them every other week. Then S writes, "You should dress like that all the time, Hammer."
Hell yeah.
Honestly, you should.
Hell yeah.
Actually, that's a great point, S. Thank you so much for bringing that up. We've been meaning to talk to Roy about his outfits. Honestly,
what's wrong with my headband?
You are wearing a headband. Oh, don't let Mo say. Do not let Mo.
This is Leanna's headband. This is like the fun one. Like,
it is a fun one. It is. I
like this one. It's different.
We should all wear headbands. When Moa comes back, we're gonna all wear headbands.
Yeah, I agree.
Everyone should message. Everyone make an email to Loser Leaves Wrestling right before you smash that button, and just say Moa come back. Moa come back. S says, "Could you turn Spears' face though? Wardlow is going to be a monster face. Does that work for Spears? Spears, honestly, first thing I don't see Wardlow being a monster face. Do you see Wardlow?
Be a huge baby face. Oh yeah.
You think? Okay, well,
they're gonna try. They're gonna try. I'm not saying it's gonna work. They're gonna try.
When we're gonna talk, let's just talk about the match. We'll skip, but we'll talk about Christian in a second. But we got Wardlow versus Colin Delaney. Wardlow versus Colin Delaney, and Colin Delaney, ECW WWE original. ECW WWE original there. I actually have at my house in New Jersey a Colin Delaney inbox action figure.
Oh, he's got a restaurant in Buffalo. We should drive up there sometime.
We should get him to sign it. That's very fun.
It's like an arcade restaurant or something.
Oh, I'd love it. I was like a barcade,
but it's like more like a cafe. Like not really a bar, but like you get coffee, drink, and play pinball.
Nah, it's like a barcade. It's a barcade.
Yeah, it's a barcade.
But like we get this match, and Spears. Reminds me of Clamps, and we get Colin Delaney getting abused here, gets a clothesline and then several power bombs. Do you like the way he does the power bomb gimmick? Like I feel like it's missing something. It's
getting over. People are chanting for it.
One of the things is he is feeding too much. He's trying too hard. He is trying too hard. Yeah. He should honestly just power bomb people, not look at the audience. Don't look at them for approval to get your next power bomb in. I know he's doing that to stall to get his energy back sometimes, but honestly, like if you just power, because
no, but I'm not making those eyes at you. I'm just saying that's true.
If they're trying to get him over like Goldberg. Goldberg didn't look at the audience and be like, "Should I jackhammer him? Should I spear him?" No, he was the reason he got over. And same thing with Brock is just that like they just did it. They did it, and then eventually it got over. And then once they were already over, they looked at the crowd. Then they were already over, and they gained that thing like, oh, I'm one of them now. You have to get to a place before you start looking at the crowd and being like, you want me to give another powerbomb? You want me to give another powerbomb? Like, it's just.
I think that's tough. I think the Goldberg-Brock comparisons are tough. 2 reasons. 1, Goldberg never did any move twice. He hit a spear, he hit a jackhammer, the match was over. 1. 2, Brock never fought jobbers. Brock hasn't fought a jobber since 2002. Since he fought like Crash Holly or Spike Dudley.
It's just, I just feel like it's Wardlow being too eager. It's Wardlow being too eager, and I don't necessarily like that. I like the idea of him not caring is what gets people over. Just like with Roman Reigns. The minute Roman Reigns started caring, did people start hating him?
Good point.
Like he just did a thing where he's like, I'm just going to be a monster, do my thing. People love him. You start paying attention to what the crowd wants in an active in-ring way, they're going to shit on you. We got, what are you laughing at? This is a bunch of comments here. Could you turn Spears face though? Wardlow is going to be we already talked about that. Joe Rutherford writes, this is what happens when the roster is too big. Can't use everyone. Probably talked about Leo Rush and Dante.
Yeah.
John Buseman writes, Spears is very funny on the outside during Wardlow. He is.
So he could be a babyface. If he's just that funny and you just like tweak his character like a little bit, he's going to be hilarious and people are going to cheer him because he's a big dumb idiot. When he's eating that carrot and he threw the carrot away, I thought it was a taquito.
No, it's so much funny. Actually, it's very funny. Thought it was a taquito. He just had a hot taquito in his hands. Joe Rutherford writes, against MJF, he could be a huge trace, but after that, crickets. That's why I think the pairing. I think the pair, in all honesty, it will be crickets. As Spears, he needs someone with personality near him, and Spears is oozing personality. He's trying to hit people in chairs. He just doesn't know where to direct it. Buseman writes, a lot of great fashion choices tonight. Did you see Delaney's gear?
Hell yeah. 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 He was wearing like 90. To me, it felt like a gear that PG-13 would wear. Remember PG-13?
Oh, barely.
Wolfie D and the other guy. Yeah. Like kind of like multicolored shorts that are like kind of loose fitting.
Bless you, Colin Delaney. I'm gonna find a picture of Colin Delaney's action figure I have. Buseman writes, that's why we all love the cold-hearted handsome devil. It's true. We do love the cold-hearted handsome devil. And just I don't want to talk about it too soon, but this Rampage, there's gonna be a Taz's technique about the red rum, Hook's red rum.
I was hoping it would be about how to kick out of or how to no-sell a pile driver. You see all the outrage about this?
I saw a lot of outrage about it, but then I saw a lot of clips about showing Taz doing the same thing. With who? Who was it?
Jerry Lawler.
Jerry Lawler.
Yeah,
it was nice to see. I do hate when people no-sell things blatantly. I wish he didn't use a pile driver, and I wish they did something else that was devastating.
Driver. Yeah.
What?
It was like that was Rikishi's move.
It's a greetings for Asbury Park.
Yeah, it was.
Bam Bam's move.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Rikishi driver.
Well, that's what somebody called it.
3 times. Yeah, it's all over the video games. He did 3 times. I was so upset because I love
that move.
The greetings from Asbury Park.
Yeah.
And he only did it I remember doing it to Benoit once. I remember Eddie once. And I remember China once. And
but isn't that a Spicoli driver too? Isn't that also a Spicoli driver?
I don't know enough about Louis Spicoli. But I'm guessing Bam Bam came first.
Well, Bam Bam definitely came first, but I'm just curious. I have to go back and watch some Tommy Dreamer matches. Tommy Dreamer used to use it post Spicoli. Hold on 1 second. I got to get my phone charger. Keep talking. Not phone charger, computer charger. Keep rolling.
I'll keep vamping. I'm going to vamp. Bam. Keep vamping. Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. No, just joking. We got things to talk about. Colin Delaney, big fan of Colin Delaney, Jersey Devil. What are we talking about? Oh, Hook.
Keep going to the next segment. What happened after that?
Oh, is that what you're talking about? Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm going to talk about before then. Christian this was right before the Wardlow match. I skipped over it so we could keep on the conversation. Christian had a little segment with the Lucha Bros. He was talking to the Tony, and then the Lucha Bros came out, and
no, he was talking to the Lucha Bros, and then they came,
and then Christian came out, and Christian just was like, "You pieces of shit! You went into business for your dipshits. You went into business for yourself," which they kind of do. The Lucha Bros go into business all the time for themselves and forget about everyone else but the things that they need to do, including their opponents. That's why the FTR matches kind of sucked. because FTR is all about cooperation and Lucha Bros are all about getting their shit in. And that's the truth. That's the truth right there. So he said that. Are you excited for the match between Jurassic Express and Lucha Bros?
No, because I don't care about the Lucha. I don't care. I mean, I care about the Lucha Brothers. I don't care about Jurassic Express. I'm excited that this will hopefully become a Christian Jungle Boy singles match. That's what I want. I'm tired of them as a tag team. I need a break from the Jurassic Express tag team.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're on the same page there. We don't need to talk about that more. We just don't. Adam Cole, he wants everyone to be a big family. Well, Adam Cole wants everyone to be a big happy family. He's there with the Bucks. He's there with the Undisputed or Red Dragon.
Oh, I love that. I love it. That's been their name since 2012. I love it. I'm so excited about it. You're such a wiener.
Who's a wiener?
You.
No, they're wieners. They're freaking wieners, dog. They're freaking Red Dragon wieners. And Kyle needs to talk to Adam alone.
This is just weird.
Like, Young Bucks, you gotta go. And he's just like, Adam's like, yeah, go. I got this.
Hi,
Bobby
Nick.
Fish, you gotta go too. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, this isn't weird. All right, go. Get out of here.
It's dumb. and then Kyle gets everyone away just to say, what does he say? He says
something. So here's the thing that's strange.
You know, we're the Paragon of AEW. He's trying to get a new name across. I think they're gonna be called Paragon.
Well, he's trying to reference this, like the end of their like NXT feud where they hated each other, which I think is interesting. I can't think of a time that's ever been done before. So I think that's cool, but it's the thing that's confusing to me about it is that Adam Cole's like, hey, we're a big happy family. And Kyle O'Reilly's like, hey, we have heat. And Cole's like, yeah, I know. Then why do you want everybody to be big happy? What's happening? And then like during their entrance later, which we can talk about later, they're all like, yeah, we're a team. We're all together. And then Kyle's like, but we have heat. But yeah, we look really cool. It's just like, where are we?
I think AEW has to realize, or at least the performers, because Tony's not scripting these things. Performers have to realize you are on a new show. This is your new time to show yourself and what you can do and who you are. Stop reliving storylines that people may not have seen. Not everyone watches NXT. Not everyone from AEW watched every episode of NXT, especially not the past few years when you guys were on it. When this feud was happening, people were over on AEW. During the time the NXT versus AEW wars, people were watching your feud against Undisputed Era. That's when their breakup happened. During AEW versus NXT. So don't reference something that was on the other channel when your fans weren't watching.
You know what's interesting about it though? And this is a stretch. This is a big stretch. But if you take NXT out of the picture, as I love to do, and you just think about Ring of Honor, which is technically like where this all started, they're like Kyle O'Reilly's last match in Ring of Honor was also against Adam Cole. So like technically they've had heat with each other for like 6 years.
Sure.
Whether you take it, but it doesn't matter. Like even
you know what I'm
people
saying.
Potentially.
But yeah, why
I agree
we should not reference these things unless it's Excalibur referencing it during their match. Sure. That's when I'm fine with over extenuating those explanations.
And it's curious that he didn't tie it all together for the audience.
Interesting.
It's curious.
JR is clogging up the works. We got and Brandon was filming the entire time. Brandon was filming. He only films their segments. We got to move on to a very hot. This was a shocking segment. This was the most shocking segment of the night. Dan Lambert. Dan Lambert comes out to a series of boos. And that booing where they don't want to hear him speak at all. Well, by the way, we had some comments here. Tony writes, all I want is Lucha Brothers versus Santana Ortiz already.
Yeah, me too.
I'm excited for that too. I just think Santana Ortiz are better than them.
Well, I think they should take the titles off of them.
I think they should take the titles off them. Yeah. That's fair. Good point.
And then they should feud with FTR. And FTR should take the titles off of them.
And I think Lucha Brothers are just too selfish. They're just too selfish. I'm going to say it. Come at me. Let me hear it. But let's get to Dan Lambert, what everyone wants to talk. They're booing the hell out of him. He's not getting a word in edgewise. And then all of a sudden he starts making fun of Brandy. He references her being a whore a few times and saying she has a stripper name and makes fun of her being old. Then Brandy comes out. And by the way, after he started saying that stuff, people are getting on his side. They quieted up. They quieted up big time because he just started making fun of Cody and Brandy. And that's what everyone wanted to hear. Then Brandy comes out to a chorus of boos. and like the booing her. But then she comes back with this Paul Heyman line that gets everyone on her side.
Yeah.
And honestly, Brandy isn't that bad.
No, Brandy's good. Brandy's good. When she's motivated, like not even like motivated as a character, like as a performer, but like when her character has someone yelling at her and she needs to come back, she's ready and she can come back. Her best promos are in those scenarios.
Yeah, you're right.
And this was one of them.
When she has to be at an 8, she can go. When she has to be at anything below a 6, she is lost. She's screaming at them. She's screaming at them like they're at 8. But like Dan Lambert's 8 all the time. He's 8, 9, 10. And so like they're going back. They have one of the most interesting segments where she's like, I'll beat the shit out of you. You're a black belt. I'm a black bitch. He says that. That wasn't me saying that. Do not isolate that. Do not isolate that. Do not isolate that. I'm just repeating. I shouldn't have repeated. But she said, and then he's just like, well, I want to slap you. Let's go.
So interesting.
And they're about to go down. And then Dustin Rhodes comes out. Not Cody.
Yeah.
Cody doesn't come to help out. Like when someone's trying to slap his wife, says he's got a Transformers tattoo on his neck,
which is true.
Big pop, by the way, big pop in the Jefferson household. I'll tell you that much. And so then Dustin comes out. Then Ethan Carter attacks Dustin. Brandy gets distracted. They leave. And so, what did you think of this? The forefront here.
It was interesting. I mean, my big takeaway is like, boy, you want to be like the biggest heel in the company. Like, if you want to be a babyface and you're getting booed, all you have to do is reference the WWE and you'll get cheered.
Yeah.
And that's what Brandy got the crowd on her side as soon as she made that Paul Heyman reference. Did you like what he said? I prefer Jim Cornette.
I think he could have done it better. Honestly, he should have been something. He should have said something else and then led to that, or not say it at all. Because the thing is, like, that was him just trying to get Jim Cornette over, and Jim Cornette doesn't need that. I don't like that they reference Jim Cornette. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, sure. The
guy doesn't need to think that anyone listens to him more than they do. If you listen to his show, he's like, everyone listens to me. They all listen to me. I'm like, okay.
I wonder. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't mind Dan Lambert. I don't mind him. I think he's doing fine work. And I like when Brandy's fired up.
Yeah, I'm into this like this moment really sold me on some things. We have some comments here. Joe writes, this is one of the big gripes with AEW. Not everyone is a super fan like Khan, who seems to watch everything. But that said, it is cool that they didn't blindly forget the past like WWE. Middle ground. Yeah. No. But the middle ground is not forgetting your own past. That's what you do. Don't forget AEW's past. You don't have to bring other companies' bullshit into it. Which they can't see or they can't look back upon, or Excalibur can't reference. He can't reference, the Undisputed Era, they were this dominant tag team that broke up. If you can't talk about the event, you shouldn't bring it up.
He can still talk about their history in PWG, in Ring of Honor, because they've fought each other everywhere. There's no doubt about that. But I agree. I completely agree. And ultimately, we have to treat our viewers. What's wrong? You okay?
I'm just mugging for the camera.
We have to treat.
They're not smashing that like button like.
We have to treat our audience, not our audience. Our audience is brilliant, but AEW has to treat the mass audience like idiots, right? So there's a lot of people who are going to complain and say like, well, they don't know, and they're just catering to wrestling fans. How are they going to build their fan base if they're not going to cater? Blah blah blah. But how can you tell me that there aren't people who are immediately, when Kyle O'Reilly debuts, if you're someone who's never watched NXT, well, they treated it like a big deal when he debuted. And he, for some reason, if I know nothing about Kyle O'Reilly or anything about Fish or Cole before they came to AEW, he's standing with them. So that must mean that they were together at some point. I'm going to use my old Google machine, as friend of the show Conrad Thompson would say.
Friend of the show Conrad Thompson and Jeff Jarrett say.
I would get on my Google machine and I would Google Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, and there would be the history for me. It's not impossible to think that people are looking all of this up to make those.
I don't think you should do that. I just don't think. Is this better? Is this a better light?
Red, you were looking good before, pal.
I'm getting two in my head. What were we talking about? Oh, Kyle O'Reilly. Yeah, I just don't think people should have to Google to understand the comments.
I understand that. I agree with you. I agree. I'm just saying it's not impossible to figure out, to connect the dots. It's not impossible.
Sure. Sure. Well, we have some more comments here. Joe writes, the Heyman line was great, though. Heyman line was great. I actually do wish she didn't say Heyman. She said Jim Cornette, but the Heyman line got over bigger, and it would have gotten over better. Tony writes, might be the first match in AEW that the fans boo both next week with Cody versus Paige.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Is Cody versus Paige next week?
Cody versus Ethan Page is happening on Rampage.
Can we fix that? Ethan Page should not be called Ethan Page. Who brings these people in and lets them be the same names? Tony.
Oh my God. We don't have enough time for me to even yell about that. Because I disagree with you. I completely disagree with you.
You do?
Yeah, I do, because his name is Ethan Page and his name is Adam Page. Just let them be. It's not like here's Ethan and here's Adam Page. It just drives me nuts.
If his name was Andrew Page, would you be like, oh, that's cool, Andrew Page and Adam Page? That's cool. There's Andy Page. The thing is, there has to be something that stops people from having similar names. Someone has to be like, if you have a character on the show called Jim and you have a character on the show named Jam, that's just weird. That's just a weird thing. You don't do that. Nobody making a show does that.
What I'm saying is, it's not like Ethan Page's name prior to AEW was like Ethan Himlowitz, and then he suddenly became Ethan Page when he came to AEW. He's always been Ethan Page. That's his name. Let him be.
Change it, Ethan Pag. Just a little bit.
How is Pag and Page different from Jim and Jam?
Ethan Cage. I have another Cage in there. Brian left.
Well, Brian.
We have to keep moving. S writes, wrestling's best when it references the past, especially from other federations. Like when Flair won the Rumble in '92, he had heat spots with old enemies like Kerry Von Erich, shared wrestling universe. That was a different time, and that shouldn't count. That's a completely different story. That is a completely wrestling isn't that anymore, and it never will be that. Let's keep our universes. I don't think universes should be separate. Okay, you know what? I like that, but the thing is with concurrent, literal parallel programming, being like, oh, remember that thing that we did earlier in AEW on a different channel where you were watching, it's just earlier, past, oh, Ring of Honor and PWG. Oh, great, fine. Just that just doesn't make sense to me.
Here's my thing. AEW averages somewhere between 900,000 and 1.2 million viewers a week in general. NXT was selling out Barclays, selling out, big arenas all throughout the country for their big shows. They were doing decent numbers on USA, and all they were doing, hey, do it. You look good both ways. And all they were doing was also recycling old feuds. They were doing the same thing. I mean, Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, Dominic Dijak, Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, and that other guy.
They're not recycling old feuds. They're utilizing good matchups where people understand and know how to work with each other, but they're different feuds. They're not being like, oh, I've been fighting you since PWG and now we're here. No, they're they know how to work with each other. So yeah, of course, let's keep this chemistry going, which makes sense. Let them do that. I am fine with them saying, oh, everyone gets, oh, we're Undisputed Era. Everyone knows that because that happened before AEW. Before AEW, that's the reason. Can't anyone from NXT, if you came over with Jonah Rock, let's bring Jonah Rock over here. I don't know anything that Jonah Rock did at AEW. Honestly, I couldn't think of things.
In WWE.
In WWE, in NXT.
Okay.
I couldn't think of a single thing that Bronson Reed, who he's partners with, but if he came over here,
he won the North American title.
But say he came over here, AEW, and he's just like, Kyle O'Reilly, you stole my girlfriend once. He had this storyline that I had no idea about because I was watching AEW, not the other channel.
Right.
It's.
I understand what you're saying. I get it. We're going for it.
We are really going to get to it. John Busman says it takes too long for Cody to get to his trap door. Nailed it. Freaking nailed it. I thought the Cornette reference was just to heel. I think it was him trying to literally show reverence to Jim Cornette because Jim Cornette's going to mention on his podcast now. Yeah. Well, I do listen to it actually pretty frequently.
Our friend of the show who's never watched the show, Alex Merkin, claims that Cornette's gotten better or recently.
He's gotten he's
whatever
not,
that means.
No, he's not gotten better. He's always been like I agree with him politically. I do not agree with him existentially. Like I feel like he's like pretty dark dude, and he's like just different things. We have to stop talking about Jim Cornette. Agreed. Jim Cornette is the ultimate heel mention nowadays. I wasn't trying to bring that up. Joe writes Joe writes that. Joe says if it was WWE, they could go all go by one name.
We were talking about Ethan Page, Adam Page.
Yeah,
it would just be Ethan, and Hangman Adam Page would just be Hangman.
Are you that glued to Page? Ethan?
That's how they know him. That's how people know him. That's how he sells his merch.
Absolutely no one.
That's not true.
Not like a large percentage. There's a million people. Let's say a million people watch that show. Oh, let's say a million people watch the show. How many people have seen Ethan Page live and in person? Maybe 10,000.
It's true. I'm just going to continue to tell you.
It's actually, but that actually is probably true. Like that's probably the amount of people that knew who he was before he came. And yeah, they're big AEW fans, I'm sure, but not at all. Moving on. Joe writes, the more I think about it, Red's right. Thank you, Joe. Only reference your own stuff. This is a business. Reference stuff that you can make money off the views on. Very smart. Good thought. Very good thought there, Joe. Tony writes, the wrestling multiverse does not include the WWE. And I could agree with that, Tony. I can agree with that. Are we satiated, Roy?
I could go on forever. We should move on. I just think Ethan Page has had a very long and pretty successful indie run and is feuded with many prominent people and many prominent independent promotions, and was also an Impact Tag Team Champion for multiple years before coming to AEW.
Yeah, Impact. Okay, let's move on. Impact lol. Is that the new thing? We got to keep going on because I still have 2 pages of notes.
I know. We've been going for 45
Then we get a
minutes
Danielson versus Adam Page promo. Excited for it.
It's going to be great. Next week's going to be out of this world.
It's going to be fun stuff. Next up, we get Jade Cargill versus Thunder Rosa in a match to the what is semifinals? A match.
This is semifinals, yeah.
And man, did this kind of let down for me?
You think so?
Yeah, I just honestly, it felt like another instance. Like Thunder Rosa is great. Today, she was off. She was slow. It felt like nothing was as crisp as it usually is. Jade is pretty green at times, but she's definitely motivated. She's physically ready for every match. So she's never slow. Her moves never look weak. It's just that Thunder Rosa just seemed off. You didn't think so?
What was it? Well, first of all, big shout out to Jade Cargill's gear. I thought her gear was excellent tonight. Very good gear. But I feel like with Thunder Rosa, I'm looking at him, just something going on. I know that face too well.
I'm just working the light.
Yeah, I think Thunder Rosa seemed like she had KT tape on her back. So I wonder if her back was bothering her and that might have slowed her down. I also wonder, and this is me really diving deep into her psyche, so I don't know, I have no clue. But like, I wonder if she was like, I have to go into this match hyper focused on making Jade Cargill look good. I need to make her look like a complete wrestler. Because tonight is the first time she's ever like been in trouble. Someone worked a body part. She had to sell for an extended period of time. She had to have a comeback. Like she had to do all these things. And she did a lot of really interesting, impressive things in this match. And like, you can see that the pieces are starting to come together. She's still like less than 1 year.
No. Jade did a very good job, all things considering. And I think she did great selling of the leg. I just felt that Thunder Rosa was like maybe a step behind. And maybe it's because she's not used to this amount of pressure in this big space. She's also maybe the size less than 5 years in. She's also less than 5 years in. Yeah. So she only has a limited amount of experience as well. But we get Jade going over. First thing, Jade took a drink of water in the middle. And I think that is great heat. I think they should keep doing that where she goes on the outside, drinks water. That is such good heat, and you don't see it happen. And that
like
feels
you've got a guy like Mark Sterling out there. Like Smart Mark needs to be like, you need to hydrate. Like he needs to like be giving his clients water. Yeah,
I think that's 100% a great thing. But we get the win when someone comes out and clobbers Thunder Rosa, giving a Jade Cargill the win with the Glam Slam. And then afterwards we get a beatdown where Thunder Rosa attacks Jade. She started beating her down. Then Mercedes Martinez makes her come in as well.
So she interferes before the match ends.
Yeah.
And hits her with like a bag of rocks, like hits her with something that sounded brutal.
Yeah,
whatever
it hits her with like a fucking cookie sheet. I don't know what it was. It sounded loud. It sounded loud, but it wasn't very impressive to look at. But like she beats her up. I'm glad Mercedes Martinez is now here.
That was my first thought. As soon as I saw her, because I feel like you've been trying to get the word to TK, like you got to bring in Mercedes Martinez. Yeah, I think it's good. I don't know how I feel about the finish. I don't know if I want interference in that finish, but you have to keep Thunder Rosa strong because you're ultimately building to Britt Baker. I thought that was probably my guess before it was Mercedes Martinez, was that it was either Britt Baker or Deeb for whatever reason.
One would have been a better way of going about this, because honestly, Mercedes Martinez hasn't been on TV long enough for people to recognize her face so easily.
Yeah,
she didn't get the pop. Yeah, what she does, she should have done, like during the match, just walked out onto the ramp. Yeah. Just walked out with no mask, just coming out and just like crossing her hands, distracting Thunder Rosa. So Excalibur like, what's going on? That's Mercedes Martinez. What's she doing? Watching Thunder Rosa's match, distracting Thunder Rosa, causing Jade to get the win, rather than this attack and then the reveal, which didn't reveal much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I wish Ruby Soho had been on commentary also, to make it, because they always do this, right? Like with the men, it's the same thing with the men. They always put the men on commentary to hype up whatever eventual match the person on commentary is going to have. What's the winner, probably the winner of that match. And they're going to fight next week for the inaugural title. Like, this is going to be the inaugural champion. Like, this should be a much bigger deal than they made it out to be here. It was more of like good guy coming, or like good babyface coming in to save other babyface, rather than how it should have been.
You made a great point recently, just saying that, this has been stretched out too long.
Yeah,
this has been stretched out too long, where now like a lot of the heat has died from what they were trying to do in the first place. Yeah. We got a lot of comments here. The wrestling multiverse should include NXT 1.0. NXT 1.0 was basically the greatest super indie of all time. AEW is the Wrestling Fans Federation. Reward people who know what's going on. I agree. Damn. I think 1.0. I think 1.0 started dying as AEW went on the air.
Well, that's a whole other conversation, but I do agree with you. As soon as they went to cable, they started dying. As soon as they went to cable.
As soon as they went to cable. S says, not satiated. I want to keep beating this dead horse. Gosh darn it. We can beat this dead horse. We're going to keep going with it.
We'll send you a Zoom link sometime,
pal. Joe writes, but WWE owns NXT. Why give them views? Just mention their long history teaming together. I agree entirely, Joe. Love the Wolverine attire. Love when they do that. Makes it feel like a big match feel. Who had Wolverine attire?
You didn't see Thunder Rosa came out and then she had the claws. She had the whole thing.
I missed the claws.
You missed the claws, yeah.
I missed the claws. Oh, interesting. That's cool. More great gear in this match. John Busman writes.
Hell yeah.
Meta Sunbro. Love both wrestlers, but this was a rough match. Thank you so much, Meta Sunbro, for joining in on the chat. Yeah. It was a rough match. It just felt clunky. It was a little clunky. It was. Tony writes, Jade needs to watch Bianca Belair promos. That's not a bad idea, but Bianca Belair is doing a great job. But I don't think Jade's doing a poor job either. I think Jade is doing fine. She's finding her own way.
Dude, you know what I loved? I wrote this down, and I wanted to bring this up real quick. So she has what's the move? What's the name of the move?
Glam Slam?
The Glam Slam, right. That's her finish. So she has no other like signature moves that she does. But you know what she pulled out in this match? And I don't know if she's done it before, but I loved it. The ball. Oh yeah, that's right. She has the boot. The boot's great.
That boot is fucking
yeah, it's devastating. But she also has like the opponents in the corner. So she's a basketball player. So she does a thing where she goes to the other corner and she like does her own version of the Stinger Splash. I love that. I hated
that. Hated it so much. I literally wrote in here.
I loved it.
It's simple, stupid. You look so good when you do impactful things. when you look like an idiot to be
I
an
love
idiot.
it.
No, but like,
No.
I'm fine. Like she could build to that. She's not good enough or knows when to put that in a match. It felt clunky. It felt out of place because obviously she waited in such a manner. This was going to be a reversal. She's never done that move before, ever that I've seen her. And now she does it and it gets immediately reversed. You look like an idiot if you don't build that up.
She just missed it. Yeah, she missed it.
John Busman writes something, but it was retracted. What did you write, John? Jesus Christ. S writes, Joe, WWE has thrown away NXT 1.0. That era is dead. Why not celebrate what was awesome about it? WWE isn't doing that style of wrestling anymore, so AEW won't lose fans to WWE. The references to NXT just adds more depth to AEW's storyline. The storytelling. I don't think that's a bad idea pre-AEW. Like, I think you shouldn't reference things that were literally in your direct competition where possibly none of your fans watched it. John Busman writes that pump kick. That is great. That is really fucking great. Honestly, that should be your finish rather than the glam slam. That should be your finish.
Hey, controversial statement. Better pump kick than Sheamus.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She gives a good pump kick, and she really kicks the shit out of these 100-pounders.
She does.
Joe writes, I agree, but another thought that if AEW references NXT storylines and characters too much, WWE lawyers will come calling. I don't think that's much of a worry, Joe. Think back to Scott Hall Diesel lawsuit years ago. They're so purposely careful. They're not going to say anything.
Joe, you should take the time. I mean, I know you're probably a very busy human. You've got a lot going on, I'm sure, but you should take the time to
read. Kids.
Yeah.
How do you know that? With kids.
How do you know?
I get intuition about these things. I know it S has a puppy dog.
You should take the time to read the Nitro book. It's long, but they talk all about how much WWE was suing WCW for all the things that they were doing. And it goes into a lot of detail about the depositions and all of that stuff. It's really interesting.
Then we got John Busman. I'm high and wrote about the gear being great again.
Hell yeah.
Keep writing about the gear, Buse.
Yeah, Buse gets it. Jake Cargill's gear was fire tonight.
Then Busman writes, lawsuit is publicity, baby. We're doing great here, and we're gonna go over. Moving on. Then we get a shitty recap of Hirsch versus Statlander.
Yo,
what a shitty recap.
This breaks my heart, but also it's like it's a huge what, but also a huge woo because they recapped it in the first place. But it's a big what because like where are we going from here?
So they it seems like they have this like small video package. They weren't doing this big production pre-shot thing. They had this footage and they're gonna have Excalibur and whoever talk over it, but they forgot or they weren't cued or something. So they just started playing footage, and then halfway through, Excalibur's just like, oh, and Hirsch and Statlander, they used to be tag team partners. Now they're gonna fight each other. Like, and so we saw that match on Rampage, very fun. But it looks like they're gonna continue that storyline, which is exciting.
Yeah.
But I wish they took a second of thought beforehand for it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, look, if you don't have like storylines for the women, it's a bummer, but at least let them wrestle each other often. So like, let Deeb and Sheeta keep going, and let Statlander and Hirsch keep going. Fine.
Yeah. Let it go.
At least let them wrestle.
Let them go back and forth with each other.
Yeah.
Let them have like switch it up. Have Serena Deeb versus Layla Hirsch.
Oh man.
Serena Deeb versus Layla Hirsch. Chris Statlander versus Sheeta.
I mean, Serena Deeb and Layla Hirsch against Statlander and Cheetah.
Oh my God!
Come on,
the possible. This is like the Heyman 6, whatever it's called.
SmackDown 6.
SmackDown 6. Tony writes, Layla Hirsch needs to join Team Taz. Somebody's been listening to some old what?
Now we're talking.
I've been saying that for a while. Don't take this away. Or join Dan Lambert, which would be fine as well.
Also good.
Joe writes, thank God they sleep during your show. Who
his kids.
Oh,
he's got kids.
Yeah, he's got kids. I'm gonna get him that t-shirt. Actually, that's a great Christmas present.
Hey, two things. One, I think we should do a future episode exclusively on the SmackDown 6. I would love to talk about the SmackDown 6 with
maybe.
you.
Yeah, well, we'll see if our viewers like the page, smash that like button enough to let us know. We want to beat a record. We had 9 last week. Let's get.
Did we really have 9? That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, we had 9
That's
last
great.
week.
I'd love to hear it.
And the most watched Woos and Whats thus far.
That's true.
Let's keep it going. Smash that like button.
One other thing that I wanted to mention before we completely stop talking about Cody for the night. Did you see his new T-shirt that's released?
No.
It was advertised in the corner of the screen while Brandy was on. It's got 3 check boxes and it says babyface, or it says cheered, booed, winner. And there's his neck tattoo is next to where it says winner.
That's the grossest shit I've ever heard. And by the way, Cody is a genius. Cody is a genius. And I've talked Roy into it. Now I have to talk Mo into it.
God.
That Cody is a genius. Joe writes, Tony stormed to AEW to fix the women's division. You're going to talk about the news you can't lose. This is the weekly wrestle this week.
We're weekly wrestle. January 1st.
Ember Moon 2. We could do without Ember Moon. Moving on.
We need Ember Moon.
Moving on, we got CM Punk comes out. And by the way, did you notice that the crowd was kind of weird tonight?
Maybe. Yeah, I thought it was a weird show. I understood that they were being weird because I thought it was kind of a weird show.
I felt they should have brought Punk out first.
Yeah.
Daly's Place has seen every single one of these wrestlers a million times over. They've never seen Punk. They wanted Punk, like they lost it when Punk came out, and they would have been excited to hear Jungle Boy's music and all those other people afterwards. But Punk should have started the show. But Punk comes out and he brings up JR. He brings up JR, and we're all thankful he's back. Thank God JR is healthy.
Oh yeah.
We don't know he's back, but it's healthy. Brings up Daly's Place and Brody Lee. They get a Brody Lee chant. He disses Tim Tebow, who I guess is on the Jaguars. I
thought he retired.
I had no idea.
I know
he takes a knee, but it made for the Jags, which is the person that feeds him. But it's very interesting. And he's saying, I don't need MJF. And MJF, who cares? If he wants to be done with me, let's be done with each other. And he's like, but maybe someone's going to get away with his title opportunity. I feel like I wish they actually kind of separated for a little bit. Don't you? Save this match. Push it down the road.
Isn't that happening?
Yeah, but like he's that part at the end, he's like, if someone gets in the way of your title opportunity, like I just felt like that was unnecessary.
Well, yeah, but who's
going
to be
forecasting this?
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen? Like it's not going to be MJF Punk. It's going to be Punk getting in Wardlow's way, who is by proxy getting in MJF's way. He's going to fight Wardlow and beat Wardlow.
Oh, interesting. You think so?
Yeah, I do. I do think so. Yeah, because you go back to Tony Khan's notebook. On the sidelines of that football game, what was written on that notebook? Wardlow versus CM Punk. Oh, it was the Vince McMahon.
It's very funny. Tony writes, Danielson should come out to confront Punk about the title too soon. I think there's still like a lot they both need to do before they get there, right?
Yeah. They should team together before they.
You think so?
Fight for that. It's one time. They don't need to be like a tag team and have a run. I just think they should be in a tag team.
Tony writes, it would have been gold. It would have been gold. Yeah. Joe writes, why push that this was the first time Punk was at Daly's Place? Who cares? Plus, his gimmick now just cheap pops by referencing JR and AJ Lee. Seems like Brody Lee. Brody Lee. Seems like he does that a lot for the pop. Let's have a little bit. I don't think he's doing it for the pop. He's genuine enough. Like JR came back. He's friends with JR.
Yeah.
He's mentioned many times about Brody Lee is the reason that he's come back.
This is also the 1-year anniversary of the Brody Lee tribute show.
And Daly's Place is a special place for AEW.
They've done 60 shows from Daly's Place. They've been around for 3 years. Yeah.
Wait, how many shows?
They've done 60 shows from Daly's Place.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Yeah. So I think they should have.
He's never been there.
They should have brought out Punk at the beginning. I don't know.
Yeah. But this is also the biggest crowd. This is the biggest crowd for a Dynamite ever at Daly's Place.
I believe
that's a big deal too. Yeah, it's a big deal.
Makes sense. But like I'm excited for MJF and CM Punk to cool off a little bit so we could keep this simmering a bit, right?
Yeah, I'm curious to see where all of it goes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
First ever 6-man champions, the Kings of Wrestling.
We have to, oh my God, we are so far behind, but he does it every promo. Okay, Joe. All right, Joe. He does it every promo. He does do it every promo. It is a little redundant. I have noticed a little bit of.
He always puts people over. That's his thing now.
He loves doing it. That's gimmick. Then we get Ricky and Hobbs talk about how Dante screwed up everything. And I'm just thinking about how great they are now that Cage is gone.
Yeah. Love them. And I like that Ricky was like, yeah, Taz is off of commentary so he can spend more time with Hook. Great. Let Ricky talk more.
Yeah.
Let Ricky be more of a mouthpiece.
Then we get Sammy's note cards.
I fast forwarded through this. I'm not gonna lie to you.
And then I'll tell you what they say. 5 matches, 4 successful, 3 months, 2 crossroads, 1 lost championship, or something along those lines. And he wants his opportunity. He wants to fight Cody Rhodes again. And his New Year's resolution is to beat the American Nightmare. Great. Don't care. Moving on, we get Sheeta. She gave a little promo just saying that she didn't cheat and that Serena Deeb is the one that moved the turnbuckle pad to reveal a smaller turnbuckle pad and that it wasn't her fault. And I'm just excited that they're keeping this going.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, yeah. They bring out the best in each other. It's really tremendous.
Yeah. Busman writes in regards to Daly's place. This is our MSG. Let's hold on a second. Hold on. It's Daly's place. Come on.
Alex Merkin almost went tonight. He's in Florida.
What is Alex Merkin doing in Florida? We haven't talked about it. He's a Russian Jew.
His whole family lives in Florida.
That's very interesting. Very interesting. Good call out with geography. Moving on. We have to get to this major storyline that's happening.
Oh yeah.
Tony Schiavone is with Brian.
Oh
no. Okay, so we remember apparently Griff Garrison had a match against Malachi Black last week. He beat the shit out of Griff Garrison, and Brian Pillman, he has a fuzzy memory of it. He can't see it, he has amnesia. But like the thing is about Brian Pillman, I'll say this was weird and this was uncomfortable, but he has such rage deep down in his soul that just spews out where it just screams like a screech, like a scary screech. Like I'm just like, there's something there. There is something there. I didn't see it before, and I've been very anti Brian Pillman Jr. for a while now.
Sure, I still am.
Do you see that? Did you see
that?
I
see his rage. I don't think he's harnessed it yet. It still feels weird.
Yeah,
but it's there. It's definitely there. You know, it's got a lot to pull from. Yeah,
he's very powerful. And then the lights go out, and then Malachi comes out and just stares.
This was another botch, in my opinion, from production. Because he comes out, the lights bloop, and then it cuts to Pillman, and it's that signature close-up of like there's someone debuting behind him. And it's this close-up, and I'm like, oh great, Brody King's here. And then no one's there, and the segment's over. This is so weird.
It was very dumb. It was very weird. I didn't understand why this needed to be an in-ring segment, but good for him. Then we get Busman writing, this was great. More Sheeta, more Deeb, 100%. Get the AEW 4. That's what we're calling the AEW 4. Busman writes, the most iconic venue in sports entertainment is not Daly's place. S says, glad that Red is giving BPJ some props. Those screams are solid. Who's BPJ?
Brian Pillman Jr.
Oh yeah, okay. Wow. He does not deserve that acronym. But he screamed. Listen to him saying like, I hate that. He's just like this thing. It's not even like a tough screen. It's like, get away from me. Like it's just like very, very scary.
The King of the Hill?
Was that too loud?
No, that was okay. When Bobby learned self-defense, he screams, get off my purse, or I don't know you.
I don't know you.
Yeah. That's Brian Pillman Jr.
Busman says, in Mexico, if you're a famous wrestler's kid, you have to wrestle under a different mask and name before you earn your father's ring name. Good idea. Very interesting.
That is a good idea.
Honestly, what he should have done.
Yeah, he shouldn't be. I feel
honestly, he wouldn't be where he is today if he didn't constantly mention his father's name.
I think it's weird. That reference tonight, at least to his dad, I thought was weird. He was like, I didn't know my dad, but if there's one thing he taught me, it's you only got one life. It's real dark, Brian.
That's heavy. That's heavy. BPJ. We got to move on. Then we get Max Caster and Bowens, and they're just like, we're a well-oiled machine, and they just rubs Bowens' chest with oil. They really love that. That's a lot of fun. Are you saying scissoring?
That's what they do. Have you never seen them do that?
No.
This is their handshake.
Go for it, guys.
It's so good.
They scissor each other's hands. That's cute.
Yeah.
Then we get Sting and Darby, and they're just saying some stuff. They're gonna fight. It's gonna be Darby versus Anthony Bowens, which should be a good match. I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be a fine match. Anthony Bowens is a good wrestler. He's proven it. over the last few weeks in the singles matches that he's had.
Yeah, and then we get a promo with Bunny and the Bunny and Ford versus NOJ and Ty Conte, and there's gonna be a street fight.
I'm into it. Let's do it.
I'm into that. I'm honestly into that. Is that tag team street fight?
Tag team street fight. Let's do it.
Okay, let's see if they could go. Honestly, I'm just gonna say it right now. Messy. A lot of waiting for things to happen. There are a lot of green people in this ring, and there's no one really to lead them. There's no one to lead them. So we're excited. Swizz says, "Hey guys, Swizz is here.
Swizz is here.
Swizz, sweet
crew.
Sweet Swizz, great crew, great crew."
Here.
And then the end of the night, we got the main event. Finally, we're here. We did a lot of talking tonight, but we got there.
Did we?
It's the undisputed or Adam Cole, the Red Dragon. They're here with.
I can't believe you don't like Red Dragon. I'm so mad about it.
The dumbest shit.
It's
we got
great.
Versus the best friends. Tonight.
Yeah.
And it was fine.
Yeah, I feel like what stuck out to me, Kyle looks good. I really enjoy watching Bobby Fish work. I think he moves differently than a lot of people, just like how he moves around the ring. He's very methodical. I really enjoyed that. Did you happen to see when Chuck like tumbled off the ramp? Did you see this?
The dive?
No, this was like an accident. Like he sold a move and like pushed himself back and rolled off the side of the ramp. And I think he landed on the concrete floor on his head. And he looked kind of out of it for the second half of the match.
Oh,
like he was kind of slow and he was kind of like, he wasn't looking great. I worry about Chuck.
Yeah, we worry about Chuck. Bless Chuck. It was a fine match. It was really kind of whatever to me. I do notice that Adam Cole, the undisputed guys, leagues above everyone in Best Friends. Like just in terms of wrestling ability, wrestling understanding, each one of the Best Friends, Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, and Trent, have something that they need to work on, and that Undisputed is so polished. And it just goes to show that a WWE trained wrestler in an environment with no restrictions can shine like the stars.
Everything you're saying is
they could shine
ridiculous.
Like
Hold on a second.
CM Punk, Daniel
Hold
Bryan.
on a second. Time out.
The Undisputed Era. John
What
Mox.
What are you even WWE trained wrestler? All of these homeboys had been wrestling for like 15 years.
No, hold on.
WWE.
Let me rephrase that. WWE polished. WWE polished performer. You're going to deny that? You're going to deny that?
I'm not going to necessarily deny it.
All the WWE guys who came over, they literally look and feel and act differently. They act like they're superheroes and they act like they're prominent. And everyone else kind of acts like kids. They're just like, "Ugh, you fucking guy, I gotta get you."
Here's the thing. I gotta get you.
I gotta get you. That's a famous Roy, isn't it?
Here's the thing about that. You're right and you're wrong. In my opinion, Grayson Waller. Let's use Grayson Waller as an example. Do you know who that is? Yeah, exactly. He's an NXT 2.0 guy. That guy who has no wrestling experience prior to signing with the WWE can wrestle with the WWE for 15 years, come to AEW and still be dog shit. You need to go.
Has he moved to AEW?
This is what I'm saying. You're not letting me finish my point.
You're not letting me finish my point. Based off of this weird hypothetical you're posting.
You haven't let me finish my point. I'm just saying you need to learn how to wrestle in other places. Then you get your little polish and then you come to AEW. All that polish does, it helps you with your character work and it helps you know where the camera is. Red Dragon is leagues above Trent and Chuck and Orange Cassidy because they're just that much better from all of their work in Japan and all the training that they've done and the fact that they've been a tag team since 2012. I'm
just saying.
I'm hearing you.
I think everyone that has come from WWE, every single WWE has come, and they've really done a great job. What we got here? Joe writes, it's like Charlotte Flair wants to pretend that they stand on their own when they are just leeching off their more famous, talented fathers. That's a reference to BPJ. But Charlotte does it. Swizz says, Swizz in the house. S writes, Swizz in the house, and we're all excited for it. Swizz says, I love the Red Dragon theme. Chuck's fall on the stage part looked rough. I missed that. I have to check that out.
I also love the Red Dragon theme. Good song.
It's fine. John Buseman writes that Shuck Fall looked scary. I need to look at this. Do you know what I miss from old school Chuck Taylor matches? Grenades. Can anyone explain that?
You ever see that?
No.
In a Chikara, they would throw in a multi-man match, they would like throw a fake grenade and everyone would like run. I'd have to show you footage of it.
Cool. Joe writes, yep, that WB polish in action again. And they aren't trained in WWE. They are refined there. I get it. Yeah, I know they're not trained. Okay. I rephrase my words. Shame WWE can't get out of their own asses to take advantage of it. It's true. It is true. John Buseman says, you deny the PC TV finishing school? Do you deny it?
I don't deny it.
TV
finishing school. TV finishing school.
Yeah. And they look better on TV, which is TNT's TV product, and they're moving to TBS, which is a TV product.
75-25. The reason we love Bryan Danielson is because of his work overall.
Bryan Danielson became an infinitely better wrestler since 2014. Infinitely better, because he found a way to connect to the audience in a different way than he did before. He was fairly one-dimensional, and which is great. I loved his performance. He's an amazing wrestler. But the thing is, Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan,
you're right.
Daniel Bryan became infinitely better once he realized I could connect with the fans and do my thing. There's multitudes. WWE makes multitudes of your character, multitudes of you as a performer. What the Indies does and what Best Friends have, one tude.
And that's the thing.
They got.
That's the thing. I don't disagree with you, because there is no other place to go do that. Like, for example, let's use Kevin Owens, right? Kevin Owens can connect with an audience better than anybody in the WWE. Well, that's not true, but like, he's up there. He's one of the top people who can do that. And he was amazing at connecting with an audience on the Indies. But on the Indies, all he had to do was like yell at the fan on the front row that was heckling him. And then suddenly everyone in the room loved him because there were only 400 people in the room. So like, no one gets the opportunity to go polish themselves unless they signed with the WWE. So it's not really Best Friends' fault. They just never got a contract.
I'm not blaming
and
the
there's
Best
no
Friends.
other place to go and do it.
I'm
not saying you are. I'm not saying you are.
I'm just saying that it's very noticeable when a WWE guy comes there, because they just rise above.
They get it.
Then we get the Young Bucks coming out to help the Undisputed Era win.
You want to talk about lazy booking? That's fucking lazy booking. You just, for no reason, Homeboy runs out, distracts the referee so they can just land a super kick, and that's how the match ends. That sucks. That's lazy. That's lazy, in my opinion.
That is lazy. But we do get an extension of this feud, which I'm glad they're not rushing that much, because I was worried they were going to rush it faster. But I'm excited to see where it goes. Are you?
Yeah. No, I am. Okay. I got distracted. I was reading the comments. I got distracted.
Joe writes, but Red Dragon now is probably vastly better than they were in 2012. It's true.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Swizz says, surely at some point AEW will get some sort of PC. At some point.
They got the Nightmare Factory. Head trainer QT Marshall.
Yeah, QT Marshall is a real Prince Albert. Joe writes, I like Danielson more because of his mic work and character. Makes you care more about the match. And then you get that appreciation because you care. That's interesting.
I agree with that. But I just don't think, like, there wasn't Ring of Honor television for him to cut a promo on Kenta to build up their match in Ring of Honor. He didn't get the opportunity.
Here's your soul brother here. Roy is my soul brother. We get each other. You ever seen the Justin Liger thumb up the butt spot from PWG, Roy?
First of all,
would say, that's good shit.
First of all, Jushin Liger. And yeah, I have seen it. It's great. Have you ever seen that?
Well, there's no S in there. You don't
think
what I was reading, because I'm just reading right now.
Have you ever seen that spot?
No, I haven't seen a thumb up the butt spot.
It's great.
I used to be in amateur wrestling, and a thumb up the butt move is real. If you're caught in something and you have the opportunity, just like slide your thumb right down the crack of their ass and they jump. And so, like, if you're really stuck somewhere, you do that move, you get some help. But what is this move? You could say, if you can, real quick.
Oh, so it's like a 10-man or 8-man tag match in PWG. And Jushin Liger sticks his thumb up someone's butt. And then Tommaso Ciampa sticks his thumb up Jushin Liger's butt. And then Sam McCallahan sticks his thumb up Jushin Liger's butt. And eventually they all have their thumbs up each other's butts. And then I think Liger flexes and flips them all over. And the thing that's funny about that is that
it's the dick spot reversed.
It was before the dick spot. It was prior to the dick spot. This predates the dick spot, first of all. And second of all, Jushin Liger is like a top 5 greatest Japanese wrestlers to ever live. And he came all the way from Japan to California, and that was what he wanted to do. That was his spot. He was like, I really want to do this thumb in the butt thing. I think it's really funny.
I'll have to look it up. Bless PWG. One of this belongs on PWG, but let's keep the grenades and butt spots in PWG. Smizreds, QT really knows how to look good on TV. Pooh. Joe writes, so everyone at AEW will eventually be from the Nightmare Factory. What fun. Can't wait.
Hey, Joe. Hey, everybody. Do you like a wrestler by the name of Hook? Because Hook comes from the Nightmare Factory.
Hook comes from Taz, and Taz is different. Yeah. Taz has technique.
That is true.
Smooth writes, they've got people who know how to be on TV. Looks like Christian is slowly being moved out. Maybe he can help train some guys to be on TV.
Good point.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if he's that's his
thing.
They
need their own finishing school. They should just hire Triple H. He'll open his own PC.
Joe writes, neck tattoos for all. Very good. That's what they will bring us. But I think we have to end the show very quickly.
We're out of control.
We have lost it today. We went off the rails. Thank you all so much for what fun things are we excited for this coming year in Rampage? Rampage, anything interesting of note? We're getting Taz's technique.
Taz technique. We're getting the street fight, the tag team street fight. We're getting Darby versus Anthony Bowens, and we're getting Cody versus Ethan. Just Ethan.
And by Cody the way, just giving you guys a spoiler for the weekly wrestle this Saturday. Cody's a genius, and he deserves that title.
We're going to talk a lot about it. Yeah,
deserves that title.
We also might do a little year in review.
We might do a year in review.
Because it's January 1st. This weekly wrestle is going to be January 1st. Hey, and I know that none of you are doing anything New Year's Day, so you should all be tuning in.
Do they even? They don't even have the honeymoon marathon anymore,
right? And the Twilight Zone marathon's over by that point, so you have no excuses.
I really
weekly wrestle.
Weekly wrestle. The weekly wrestle is going to be every week, except for last week. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate your listening and watching. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. I did post some breaking news as it happened.
That was cool. That was
maybe broke some news this afternoon. During AEW, and well, what? Maybe you should check it out. Maybe it's worth it. Thank you all so much. Anything you have to say, Royster?
Hey, I'm appreciative and thankful to everyone who is checking this out, and I'm appreciative and thankful for doing this show with you, bud. And never mind.
We just lost a like.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. I'm just joking. But someone better whoever didn't really is pissing me off right now.
It's me. I haven't liked it yet.
No, but don't say that. Don't act like we're
I'm
one
sorry.
of the You're not blowing kayfabe here.
I gotta watch the chats.
Christ. There's other people. They're zooming in and out. QT for some. I agree. Cody is great because love him or hate him, you care. Hence why you discuss him so much. And that's true. And let's end it on there. Let's end it on. This is a really Cody Christmas that we had. And this is going to be a Cody New Year. We're all very excited for it. Thank you all so much for watching Loser Leaves Wrestling. Follow us on all the things. Listen to our podcast because it's updated. Could be updated tonight because I'm going to do. And check it out. Anything else? We're good. We're good, right?
We did it. We went for it, pal.
We did it. Bless you all. Let's sing Auld Lang Syne. May all. I'll do the 5 count. The acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind.
Ole. 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 Ole.